There are some muscle building concepts which are so important that they have to be included in every trainee's workout plan. Progressive overload is one of them. Understanding progressive overload and applying it correctly will make the difference between little to no muscle gains versus building several pounds of lean muscle within a few months. Not only is it the most efficient and safest way possible to get stronger, it's the only way to continue building more muscle over longer periods of time. Simply put, progressive overload means that you increase the demands on your muscles over time. The human body is designed to save energy in order to survive, and it will only change if absolutely necessary. Assuming your goal is to build muscle and get stronger, the only way of accomplishing this is by creating an environment which forces your body to adapt. Here's where many beginners and sometimes even experienced trainees don't make their homework. They get a great workout and start highly motivated, but use the same exact resistance, set, and repetitions for weeks, if not months. After a while, they get disappointed by the fact that their body stopped building muscle. Oftentimes, they switch to different workout routines, never realizing that the problem was a lack of progression rather than their training plan. So, how do you implement progressive overload correctly in TRX? In the gym, applying progressive overload is super straightforward. You simply add more weight to the barbell. But since we aren't using any barbells in TRX, you need to find a different way of increasing resistance. This is where exercise variations and angles come into play. I mentioned before that the body row is more difficult at different angles. Place your back closer to the floor and it is an intermediate or advanced exercise. Place it further away and at a greater angle and it's a beginner exercise. This concept applies to most TRX exercises. The smaller the angle between you and the floor, the more challenging an exercise becomes. So what you want to do over time is to go from a bigger angle to a smaller on each exercise that allows for this. Examples are the chest press, chest flies, bicep curls, and tricep extensions. All of them become more difficult the closer you are to the floor. But at what point exactly should you make this change? I generally advise anyone doing bodyweight exercises, which TRX falls under, to switch to a more difficult variation of an exercise when they can do all sets for 15 reps. So, for example, if you start your upper body workout with 3 sets of chest presses, make sure to increase the difficulty once you can do 3 sets of at least 15 reps each. The reason for this is simple. Anything over 15 reps mostly trains muscle endurance and not muscle strength. Unfortunately, muscle endurance training does little for muscle growth, so we always want to stay in the strength training range. As you will see when you follow this simple strategy is that you will quickly get stronger while also building muscle. Always go into your workouts with the mindset that you will do at least 1 more rep on each set or at least get slightly stronger in some shape or form. Having this mindset is crucial because it's what ultimately gets you out of the beginner stage and into the intermediate or advanced stage. Now, one more thing I need to mention is that there are TRX exercises where changing the angle doesn't increase the difficulty, or at least not a lot. One example would be squats. In this case, instead of changing the angle, you want to switch to a more difficult variation of the exercise that still targets the same muscles. For this squat, this would be the single leg squat or weighted squats when you use a weight vest. Same for push-ups, where you either do single arm push-ups, which are definitely an advanced exercise, or you get a weight vest and use it to slightly increase the resistance. The great thing about all this is that there aren't any specific rules you have to follow. As long as an exercise works the same or at least similar muscle groups, you can include it in your workout. Make sure to try different things and also include traditional bodyweight exercises like pull-ups in your routine. That way you have even more movements to choose from and it just makes your training sessions more fun.